what he was when he held public office. And as Dr. Wong said, he's devoted his entire life to public service and to Canada. But he remains today a balanced, thoughtful Canadian, a statesman, and respected internationally as well as at home. People may or may not remember his personal leadership on our behalf, for which we get great credit as a country and as Canadians, working with Prime Minister Brian Mulroney in seeing to the end of apartheid in South Africa. People may or may not remember his leadership in addressing the famine in Ethiopia, the first Western leader to do so. I can tell you I do remember, and I think many in this room as well will remember, the difference he made in opening up our hearts and our country to refugees fleeing Vietnam. He led our country in developing a successful sponsored refugee concept which has now been used over and over again as we celebrate communities that are much valued parts of the Canadian fabric, many of those communities having started as groups of refugees fleeing unbelievable tragedy. In fact, I can say that the leadership role that I took among Canadian mayors when it came to the Syrian refugees came in part from the huge confidence I had in the past experiences and the leadership shown by the Right Honourable Joe Clark. The success of the Vietnamese refugees, the success of the Ismailis, the success of the Tamils. I reaffirm today that we are a city and we are a country that welcomes refugees and immigrants because we know that one of the reasons we are one of the most admired and livable cities in the world here in Toronto is because of the contribution those people who arrived on our shores have made to building a great city and a great country. We will never forget that in this country, and nor will we ever forget the role played by people like Joe Clark. He was and he is a leader who led us in taking the kind of extraordinary action that Canada is capable of taking and continues to take, though it wasn't always so. We've had incidents in our past where we didn't show that kind of leadership, but Joe Clark certainly did. And so when it comes to honoring someone for their humanitarian activities, and if I may say so, in the case of Joe Clark, the citizen, Joe Clark, the human being, his humanity, his decency, his modesty, his civility, and his consistency in representing Canadian values, the Canadian values that see us as an inclusive, decent, caring people, is something that is to be admired. It's a role model, especially when he spent his life in a calling that often takes people in other directions. And so I would say congratulations to Yi Hong, because there could be no better choice than the Right Honourable Joe Clark to receive this award. So I thank Yi Hong, I thank Dr. Wong, and most of all I say to you, Joe, and to your partner, Maureen McTeer, because this is a partnership, believe me, thank you for your public service. Thank you for being yourself. You have our respect, and nowadays that's a difficult thing to earn and to keep. Thank you and congratulations, Right Honourable Joe Clark.
Thank you very much, John. Before we make this formal presentation of the Global Humanitarian and Leadership Award to the Right Honourable Joe Clark, could I invite Corinne Wong, the Centre Chair, Eric Hong, the Centre CEO, Stephen Seal, our Foundation President, and tonight's two co-chairs, Scott Delaney and Kenny Wang, to come up to make this presentation. Could I ask Maureen to come up as well? Maureen? Let us rise together and to give Maureen and Joe Clark a big welcome and thanking them for their lifelong work of humanitarian work in Canada.
Maybe Dr. Wong, you all move over there so that they can cover it when you go for the picture.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you deeply for this wonderful honor. I have many friends here tonight. Many of you I have rediscovered and am delighted to be with you. This is an extraordinary humanitarian success, the Yi Hong Center. And I am privileged, as I have been before, to be part of your large family. But also I am in awe of what you have done and what you are doing and the example that you set. I am going to respect the instruction of brevity. I'm a former politician. Nothing is harder for us than to be brief, but I'm going to try to do that. I do want to single out of the many wonderful on the front lines of Canada's magnificent response to the boat people, even though he had certain doubts when we began, and who was a wise counsel to me during constitutional discussions. He would be the first to say that no one person can take credit for the Yi Hong success. But, sir, it would not have been the sparkling success it is without you. Of course, as someone who never interferes in provincial or municipal politics, immensely honored by the words of Mayor John Tory. We have been friends a long time. We have usually had good things to say about one another, but tonight he surpassed himself, and I am greatly honored, Mr. Mayor and John. I am deeply honored to receive the Global Humanitarian and Leadership Award, and to have served with so many of you in great and setting world standards for citizen response to humanitarian crisis. There is no better place than this Dragon Ball at Chinese New Year in this first month of Canada's 150th birthday to celebrate the profound humanitarian instinct and obligation of Canadians, which is so evident again tonight. And there is no more urgent time to commit ourselves and commit cooperation and mutual respect. If we look back, technology coming together in trade, coming together in shared institutions, coming together in common causes, respect and understanding. And now, suddenly, as the Mayor has said, all around the world, we are in a time of accelerated.
$14,000. Go to Australia. Think of it. Take your partner. The best time on the best airline for the best experience of your life. Are we ready? We have 12. Who'll give me 14,000? 14,000. We have 12. Anyone have 14? 14, 14. Last chance. Here we go. We have 12. 14,000. This is Air Canada. We're not talking about sort of an ordinary airline. This is Air Canada. They're flying you in Canada's 150th year. We have $12,000. Who'll give me 14,000? 14. We have 14, I think, at the back. We have 14 back here. Who'll give me 16? 16. 16. We have 14 back here. Anybody at $16,000? We have 14,000 back here. Anyone at 16? Looking for $16,000. 14,000 going once. Last chance. Air Canada, 2 business flights anywhere they fly in the world. 14,000 going twice. Sold at $14,000. Could we have the bidder come on up on stage
And while they're coming on stage, we're going to get the bidder up to be presented with the award, and we're going to have a video shown quickly to show what the award is. Let's get the successful bidder up on stage, please.
And where is Rocky from Air Canada bring greetings? Rocky's maybe, I hope, here. Here he is. And the successful bidder is coming up to the stage, we believe, to get this award. At the back, do we have the successful bidder coming up? What's happening here, Joseph? Could we have the successful bidder who bid $14,000 at the back come up to the stage, please, to receive your award?
While they're coming up on stage, we're going to have Air Canada make a few brief remarks as they're coming up on stage.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of Air Canada, we are very excited and honored to be here again to support the Dragon Ball 2017. And we are proud to support Yi Hong Foundation. We hope they will be able to help more people in need in the Greater Toronto area. From all 30,000 of us at Air Canada, Happy Chinese New Year！ 祝各位新年快樂，身體健康，心想事成。多謝各位。
Did you go get them and bring them up? Yes. All right, we're waiting on the winning bid. I think the person is coming up. The person who was second over here, could we get that person up on stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, the winner was, believe it or not, Dr. Joseph Wong. Let's hear it for Joseph.
Yeah.
I think Joseph will do it as a fundraising trip to raise money for Yi Hong.
And our second item, as we're moving along, our second item, we have a number of important people in the audience, and we have a couple mayors in the audience. This is a dinner with Mayor Frank Scarpitti of Markham. Frank, do you want to stand up, please? This is a dinner with Frank for 5 people at his favorite restaurant. And I understand he wanted people to know that in the absence of tolls, it's going to be cheaper for you to get to Markham. And so he did promise that it's a cheaper trip, and he's a good date, I can assure you. It's a dinner for 5 with Mayor Frank from Markham. We're going to get the opening bidding started at $500. Who's going to give me $500? 5 people, best restaurant in Markham with Mayor 500. I have, he's going to give me 1,000. I have 500 down there. He's going to give me 1,000. Let me ask, Frank, I have 500 down here. It's a dinner for 5. Would you do 8? What about 8? 8 people. We just bumped it up. It's that easy. Well, we had 5 people. It's a dinner for 8. I have 500 down there. Who's going to give me 1,000? 1,000 in the back. I have. Who's going to give me 15? 15 I have over there. Who's going to give me 2? I have 15 over there. I have 15 in the corner. Who's give me 2? 15, 15, 15. You know, we have other important mayors in the audience too, don't we, Gord?
Well, I think the icon here tonight and every year is Hazel McCallion. There is Hazel. Let's hear it for Hazel. Now, Hazel, maybe you might just join Frank in this group of 8 and sit at his table. Would you do that?
Hazel, what do you think? Would you be open to doing that?
Yeah, I'd love to do it.
All right.
Here we go.
So now it's dinner with Frank and Hazel and 8 people. I mean, how good is that?
We're at 1,500. I actually think that Bonnie Crombie and John Tory should bid on this item together, but that's another matter. $1,500, who's going to give me 2? I have $1,500. Dinner for 8 people with Mayor Frank Scarpitti and Hazel McCallion. $1,500 looking for 2,000. I have 15 in the corner looking for 2. 15 over there. Do I have 2? $1,500. I'm dropping it down to $1,700. Let's keep this going. I have $1,500. Who's going to give me $1,700? $1,700.
Dinner for 8 with Hazel and Frank at the renovated schoolhouse, right?
The renovated schoolhouse. $1,500 going once. $1,500 in the corner going twice.
Anyone at $2,000?
2,000 I have down there. Thank you very much. Do I have 25? I have 2,000. 2,000. 2,000 going once. 2,000. You know, it's a sign of leadership if you bid against yourself. So why don't you just pitch in an extra $500? Everybody at your table will pitch in and we'll call it sold. We're at 2,000. Will you do 2,500 and we'll call it a deal? 2,500, sir, you got to do this. You know what? Let me check with them. Hold on a second. Sir, what's your name? You bid 2,000. I'm trying to get you to 25.
What am I bidding for again? What am I bidding for again?
You're bidding for dinner with 2 icons. You're at 2,000.
Yeah.
Will you bid 20? What's your name?
Gregory.
Gregory, if you bid against yourself, it'll be a sign of leadership. We will give you a standing ovation.
But this is for the who? Mayor?
Mayor Frank Scarpitti and
This is a bargain, right?
$2,500. Will you do it?
Someone else should bid up.
So we will give you an ovation. Will you
I'm
bid?
at 2. I challenge someone.
Oh, he's not doing it. Okay, 2,000 going once.
Anyone at 2,500?
2,000 going twice. Sold to Gregory for $2,000.
All right. Now our next item is the wonderful silver coin from the Canadian Mint. It's going to come up here and you can also... It is valued at about $2,500. And my friend Peter Kishner, who has bought this many years, has agreed to do the opening bid. So do I have an opening bid of $1,000 from Peter for the coin? We have 1,000, $1,500, $1,500. Do I have 1,500 down here? Do I have 2? Anyone at 2,000? $1,500, the coin, 1,500. 6,000, $6,000, 5,000, 6,000 we have, 6,500 we have. Do we have 7,000? We have 7,000 here, 7,500, 7,500 we have. Do we have 8? We have 7,500 here. 7,500 going once, last chance. 7,500 going twice. Anyone at 8? 8,000 we have. 8,500 we have.
Do we have 9? We have 8,500. Do we have 9? We have 8,500. Do we have 9?
Anybody at 9?
Going back and
Looking
forth.
at 9?
8,500. 8,500. 8,500 going once.
Congratulations.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one final item this evening. Now, the silent auction, I want you to know, sold for $14,000.
All right, congratulations. And thank you for your support of Yihong.
Shishi, thank you so much, Doja.
財神到，財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你有前途。合府慶新歲，喜喜盈盈，齊賀你多福音，壯健強勁，又祝你今年慶和榮升，朝晚多多歡笑，感受前程，賀所有冤侶百業並頭，盼望各位工友百業成就，大家冇爭鬥，快樂無憂，聽隻歌輕鬆下，拋卻享受。財神到，財神到，好心得好報，財神話，揾錢已正路。財神到，財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你有前途。
財神到，財神到，好心得好報。財神話，揾錢已正路。財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你有前途。合府慶新歲，喜氣盈盈，齊賀你多福音，壯健強勁，又祝你今年慶獲榮升，朝晚多多歡笑，感受前程，願夫婦恩愛，體貼入微，成日有吉星照，百事無忌，共親友相見，説話投機，充滿新春氣氣，歡唱揚眉。財神到，好心得好報。財神話，揾錢已正路。財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你有前途。財神到，好心得好報。財神話，揾錢已正路。財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你有前途。合府慶新歲，喜氣盈盈，齊賀你多福音，壯健強勁，又祝你今年慶獲榮升，朝晚多多歡笑，感受前程，賀所有兒女百業並頭，盼望各位工友百業成就，大家冇爭鬥，快樂無憂，聽隻歌輕鬆下，拋卻享受。財神到，好心得好報。財神話，揾錢已正路。財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你有前途。財神到，好心得好報。財神話，揾錢已正路。財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你有前途。財神到，好心得好報。財神話，揾錢已正路。財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你有前途。財神到，好心得好報。財神話，揾錢已正路。財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你有前途。
你聽鑼鼓響一片，聲聲送舊年。你看大家多歡唱，個樂綿綿。歡聲，歌樂聲，響徹凌霄殿。齊聲，恭祝你有個歡樂年。歌舞共歡慶，杯要食共歡宴。年年歡樂連連。財神到，好心得好報。財神話，揾錢已正路。財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你有前途。 有冤侶，百業並頭，望望各位工友，百業成就，大家冇爭鬥，快樂無憂，聽隻歌輕鬆下，拋卻享受。財神到，財神到，好心得好報，財神話，揾錢要正路，財神到，財神到，好走快兩步，得到佢睇起你，你有錢千頭。
This is your 2-minute final call for the silent auction.
Once he moved in with us, our relationship changed. For the next 3 years, I was afraid to close my eyes at night. I was afraid to sleep, afraid to be at home. I was living in hell, verbally, physically, sexually, every part of me is violent. Abuse in our culture is taboo. It's private. I tried to speak up, but I was silenced. A lock means many things to many people. To my grandmother, it meant breaking our silence. In an act of defiance, she secretly purchased the lock of my bedroom door. This gesture of love and protection turned out to be the fuse to a violent rampage on the day of my grade 8 graduation. What should have been a day of celebration, a cherished part of my mother's dream, turned out to be the worst night of my life. Having returned home from graduation, my grandmother presented me with the lock. But before we could do anything with it, my mother's boyfriend exploded. At 13, I watched my mother and grandmother die at the hands of my husband. As I tried to stop him, he grabbed my throat. I saw my life slipping away, but somehow, by the grace of God, I was spared. In a moment I will never understand, he turned his focus away from me, and he took his own life. At the tender age of 16, I was living on my own. Graduations, Chinese New Year's, and life just doesn't look the same. During the holidays and major milestones, I miss my family even more. But through the darkest days of my life, I found a new meaning of family and learned to value the people close to me. In various moments, teachers, friends, and my parents became my source of comfort and my sense of family. Yihang residences reminded me of this sense of family and community. When I visited the Yihang Center, I noticed that outside of every senior's room, there is a memory box of family photos, art, and items that remind me of home. Many of us, when we are taken outside of our comfort zone or family environment, we can feel lost, like a piece of our identity is missing. But with time and the people we encounter, we can create new connections and new meanings. No matter who we are or where we are, we will always carry our family in our hearts. 書欲靜，而風不息；子欲養，而親不絕。The tree desires to remain quiet, but the wind is restless. It is like a person desires to take care of their parents. They no longer live. If we are lucky enough, we get to see our parents blossom in old age. We ought to cherish the time we have with our loved ones while we still can. Despite the instability of my past and the uncertainty of my future, I feel hopeful and optimistic. In 2015, I graduated with an honors bachelor of social work, and I am now a crisis counselor, aerialist, and public speaker. My hope one day is to combine my two passions and open a therapeutic art center. I want to live my dreams and walk in the world in a way that continues to honor my mother and grandmother. Dance is a gift my mother gave me. Life is a dance, and this is my dance, so far.
That not everyone gets to experience. One of the places that I know where seniors are being well looked after and respected is Yihang. Shay, I heard you visited the seniors at Yihang a couple of months ago. How were they?
I did, and they were doing so wonderful.